Hello, my name is Tiffany and I am the Nap Reader. And these are my 2018 reading and booktube. I don't have a wrap up for 2017 because I didn't do one of these last year because I only posted a few videos. And that is part of the reason I'm doing it this year. So without further ado, let's just get started. The first goal I have is how many books I want to read, and that is kind of a hard question. On Goodreads, I just put one goal because I feel like if I have a goal set, that it's just kind of like yelling at me about completing it. However, in my head, I would really like to read 100 books this year. I read 79 last year, and I was in a reading slump for like 3 months. So I'm kind of hoping that it's possible, but we'll see. Secondly, I have to read more critically. I kind of noticed when I was editing my best and worst of 2017 that I pretty much just had to say like, oh, I loved this book, I hated this book, I raced through it, I didn't finish it. So I want to kind of record my thoughts as I'm reading so that I can have more to tell you guys, so that I can give you more of an impression of whether or not you might want to consider reading this book, as opposed to just telling you what I would want you to do based solely on my opinion, if that makes sense. Basically, I just want to give you more specifics than I loved this book and you should read it too. My third goal that I have is to read a classic a month. My sister and I do this already. We are actually skipping January because we just had a lot going on, and I think we got a little backed up towards the end of last year. But I read, I want to say at least 10 classics last year, and so I plan on continuing that goal. I plan on posting a video about which classics we have possibly decided to do, and possibly just giving you a reference guide of the classics that we read last year. Rory, stop squeaking your ball. Anyway, so I just want to continue that trend that I had last year, which was reading a classic a month. Side note, please don't judge us. I don't care what a classic is designated as. We do this for fun, we read for fun, and whatever we deem a classic, which is basically something that has been around. I mean, we do classics, modern classics, and we just really don't care about criticism. So that is my side note there. The next goal I have is to read these books on my bookshelves. Last year I discovered Booktube and I basically filled these shelves up. I mean, I did a lot of the filling up of shelves at half-price books, so it didn't necessarily cost me a ton of money. But if I honestly, just staring at my bookshelves right now gives me anxiety because I want to read so much off of it. And so I just want to be able to get to the point where I possibly have like these 3 shelves are my read books, and then maybe I have another shelf of TBR books. I don't want to have 3 shelves of mostly books I haven't read. So this year I really want to tackle the books that are on these shelves. I still am going to buy new releases. I'm going to try to keep it to about 3 new releases a month. I may go to half-price books, but I'm going to really try to keep it to books that I have already predetermined that I want to read, instead of seeing things and being like, oh, I've heard of that. I might want to read that someday. That's pretty much that goal. Number 5 is to finish all of the series that I'm in the middle of, and from here on out I really want to binge read series. I really felt like in 2017 that one of my issues with not devouring books the way I have in the past is that I would read a book in a series and then go read 3 other books, and then read the second book in the series, go read 2 other books, and then maybe finish the next book in the series. And I really feel like that hinders my enjoyment of the series. I really want to be able to binge read the entire series all the way through, if not all the way through what is published, and then be able to get on with the hype on Booktube of new releases in that series. So I want to wrap up the ones, and I have a TBR jar actually that I started this year. And in that I have every series that I'm in the middle of, and also some standalones that I really want to get to. And so when I draw a book in that series, I am going to take the rest of that series and binge it all the way through, which you will see in my February TBR probably, unless I just draw a bunch of standalones that month. Rory, stop. Stop. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the camera. So really, I'm hoping to finish those series in the first half of the year so that I don't have to feel guilty about starting new series from there on out. Because right now I kind of feel guilty starting series because I have all these series that I'm already in the middle of. Kind of an add-on to that goal, I possibly want to only buy the first in a series as opposed to what I did last year, which is buying the complete series to take up room on my bookshelves when I don't even know if I will even like the series. For example, I own all of the Red Rising trilogy. I own all of the Mistborn trilogy. I own several of the Lunar Chronicles books. I own all of Throne of Glass, and I haven't even started any of those series yet. So I really just want to, if I'm like, I really want to buy this right now and possibly start the series soon, I'm just going to buy the first one. If I'm halfway through the book, loving it, I'll go on Amazon, I'll order the next one or the rest of the series or whatever. But I just want to not feel guilty and not pressure myself into finishing a series because I've already bought the other 7 books in the series. So that's another goal for 2018. Number 7 is I have 18 books that I want to read in 2018, which I'm going to be posting a video about. I'm going to hopefully make a little chart that I've seen other people make and kind of cross them off as I go this year. Some of the books are series, so it's quite a few books actually, but they're just things on my shelves, and they're all on my shelves. They're not new releases, which I do definitely have new releases that I want to get to, but I feel like that's a little bit repetitive this year, so I'm not going to talk about them. I'm just going to buy them and read them. But there are series on my shelves, books on my shelves that I really want to get to this year, and so I have narrowed down a top 18, and those 18 I'm actually going to put in my TBR jar so that those can always be there when I'm drawing books for what I'm going to read next. Number 8 is to read more romance novels to talk about on this channel. And I mean these type of romance. These books, you know what I'm talking about. The Harlequin romance, the Avon books. They're light and fluffy and smutty, and I really enjoy them, and I feel like they are not talked about enough on Booktube. And I want to possibly try to fill a little bit of that void. So I want to read at least 2 to 3 romance novels a month if I can. I feel like these goals are probably kind of hard to hit, but I definitely want to read more of these. Start making possibly recommendations videos on the ones that I've enjoyed, the ones I haven't enjoyed. But I feel like romance novels are not talked about enough on Booktube from what I've seen. If you have any booktubers that talk about romance novels like this, link them down below and I would love to check them out. Number 9 for reading goals is that North Texas Teen Book Festival is coming in March or April. And there is a list of authors that are coming that I am very highly interested in reading their books, and I want to read them before I have the opportunity to meet them. My goal for the first half of the year until that festival is to try to read as many of those books as I can so that when I go meet the authors and get their autographs, I can say, I read your work, I loved it. And I won't have to say, oh, I just bought this over there and I've heard a lot about you and I really want to read your book. I want to be able to tell them the things I loved about their work, tell them that I'm excited for their future work, so on and so forth. So one of my goals is to read those books before the North Texas Teen Book Festival. Now for Booktube goals this year, My first goal is to post 2 to 3 videos a week. Right now, I'm kind of thinking a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday schedule. We'll see how that works out for me. I just really want to post regular content, get in the groove of things, and try to build my channel this year. I know with the whole demonetization and everything, it's kind of a letdown, but I'm still interested in getting more bookish friends to talk to and getting more involved in the community, so I really just want to be more consistent with posting content on my channel this year. Number 11, which just doesn't specifically have to do with Booktube, but I guess it kind of does, is to post more on both Instagram and Twitter. I feel like they're all kind of a connected community. You post something on Instagram, you can link your YouTube, and they might come watch your YouTube videos. You post something on YouTube, you link your Instagram, and they might go look at your Instagram photos. The community on Twitter is great. I mostly follow it right now, and I comment a little bit, but I really want to get involved more, which I'm going to try to do with the winter biannual bibliothon. And I just want to get more involved in the community. So my goal is to just have a schedule, stick to it, focus more on book Twitter than just mindlessly browsing random things on Facebook that really don't mean that much to me. I'm hoping that I can get more involved this year. The next goal I have is to do at least one readathon a month and to vlog that experience, not necessarily daily, but at least a weekly vlog of reading, partially because I love watching reading vlogs and partially because I feel like it will just get me more involved. I'm going to try to do as many of the challenges that I can or feel comfortable with, and I already have one picked out for this month and 2 actually picked out for next month that I'm really, really excited about, and I hope that you will watch. Last but not least, and this is possibly a shallow goal, maybe an unattainable goal, but I'm trying to make it more modest than not, and that is to gain or get to 500 subscribers. I mostly am just aiming to do this to prove that I was more consistent, more involved, and to see that pay off, because if I've been more consistent and more involved and I've gained 2 subscribers by the end of the year, then why do this? I mean, I do enjoy it, but if I'm not reaching out to the community and getting to know more people, then I feel like I can just go back to being more of an observer as opposed to an influencer, if that makes sense. And those are my goals for Booktube and reading for 2018. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. If you have a channel that I can watch so that you can get your hours for this demonetization, please leave it linked down below, and I will play your videos while I'm around the house this week and just listen to them. I hope that you have a great day. Goodbye.